It ain't a real warm day today, but I can stand it out here. And what I'm gonna do today is work on the XL12 homelite chainsaw. I got four different versions of them here out here today. And one version is real odd. I'm tearing it down. I bought it back in November. I traded for some saws and two boat motors, and it was one of them. It's a lot different than most every XL12. It's not XL12, it's a Super XL12. It's XL12 that's 58cc, and it's not automatic oil. Anyway, if you look on here, there's a serial number of it.
Shoot, I gotta find it. Okay.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get a little pointer. It says Super XL Homelite. And there's a serial number to it right there.
Yes.
Okay. Now.
Yes,
This one right here.
It's the Mad Sawer.
It's automatic. It's a Super XL, but it's a late model automatic oiler.
Okay.
And it don't say nothing on the serial plate that I can tell. And it's got the plastic cover on top. It's got the chain guard. This is one of the last ones they made. But you note where they put the oil in. It's got this black, and that's slotted. Black slotted deal. Okay.
Was I supposed to take a note of that?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't
this
write a
one right
note.
Here, it's the same way. This saw I'm using a lot right now. But there's where it is. It's a.
Wait, I gotta find it. There it is. Okay.
That's a Textron saw.
Okay. Was I supposed to make a note of that? Because I didn't.
You can't read that, and it's old. But that's a 54cc.
Shoot the dog.
XL12.
Okay, I think I found it.
And you put the oil in way down here on the back and on the bottom.
Why not?
Anyway, the ones with automatic oil on them will say AO. There'll be an AO stamp behind that serial number.
AO.
And this one here is 58cc saw. Well, I bought it. It's real dirty. And I was watching a video last night of a kid trying to tear down a homelite saw. And it got me thinking about doing this today. But if you notice right here, this sucker here, it's on the top.
Yeah.
It's got that silver button right there.
Yeah, would you hold yourself
That tells you that's a Super XL12 with the automatic oiler delete. And behind this clutch, there's no way to put automatic oiler on it. Okay, I was watching a kid tear down a saw.
You got his saw here?
No.
Jeepers.
And he was trying to get this nut right here off. And this is the oil line for this thing. And see, it don't come out down here. It comes out right there, out of this reservoir.
Okay.
It comes out and the line goes around.
Okay.
See if I can find the line. There's a line for
it. Let me find you. Okay.
Right that goes around the back.
Okay.
See this little saw right here?
Yes,
that's the same oil line, but it just goes right there.
Yeah, just a little
because it fills right there.
A little bitty one.
Yep. Okay, that kid, he was trying to get this nut off right there.
No.
Of all the 7/16 wrenches I got, that right there is a Barcelo Buffalo USA 7/16. That thing's made thin. And it'll fit in there just like that and take that nut off.
Oh, wowza.
But you want it to be the last one you take off, because when you go take it off, it's got.
Yeah, what's it got?
Well, your wrench won't come out.
Oh, your wrench won't
because there ain't room to get that nut loose and get your wrench out at the same time.
Okay.
I've not had this cylinder off yet. But what's wrong with this saw? It's dirty. And somebody has run it until they've you can look in here. I don't know if you can really see it. I'll shine a light on it. That piston scored bad. See them marks on the side of that piston?
Where?
Right there, them scratches.
Oh, okay, in that little hole right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that piston scored bad.
Okay, I see it now.
It looks like that bottom ring is even stuck.
Okay.
And I don't know what the cylinder wall looks like, but I want to run this saw.
This don't look nothing like a car motor.
I've got another one like this. This is an oddball saw. My daddy bought new.
They're all fit
And
real handy
what's
with
wrong
you,
with
Mr.
it?
Oddball.
What's wrong with it
Uh-huh.
is the keyway right here on the crankshaft.
What
It's
does the
stripped out,
keyway?
but you can see how dirty this sucker is.
Yes, why didn't you wash it?
Well, I'm gonna clean it up, but you got what you need to do. Your saws, if they ever boil
Throw
fill.
them in the washer?
No, if you're using a saw and it ever boils fill,
Yeah.
you want to take that saw and clean it out.
Light it a fire?
No, take it all apart.
Why?
Take it all apart
What
and
if I
clean the
don't-
grease
What
out
if
of
I
it.
don't feel like it?
Clean it up with a cooling system. That's the first thing you want to do. Before you
Ah.
try to do it, hardly anything else is.
Take it to Leon, that real
No,
cute guy.
just completely disassemble it.
Oh.
The little lock washer there ain't come off yet. There it went. Now, that cylinder should come off.
Okay, I'm
Sure.
watching. I'm watching.
I don't think I got anything else holding it.
Maybe you need to call Hercules.
It just stuck. It just stuck right now. Well, that don't matter. I got something else I'm going to do right fast. I'll be back to that.
Oh, it's probably all that dirt got it stuck.
Well, no, it's just been together since 1964.
Well, so have I, but I fall apart real easy.
I've taken
Yeah.
these loose.
Yes, sir.
These right here.
Don't look like it.
I need a 5/16 socket. I had one earlier.
Yeah, I think I hit it on you.
You might have. She's mean that way sometimes. There it is.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
I didn't hide it good enough, did I?
Nope.
Dadgummit.
Now, on the later model red saws,
Yes, sir.
there was a bunch of them came through, and these were supposed to be Loctited. And they didn't Loctite them. They'd back out and get in the flywheel, and people, they saw it lock up, and they thought something was seriously wrong with it, and all it needed. But they'd get out into the back of the flywheel here. Them screws would back up, and they'd get into the flywheel. And what that'd do,
So, what they do?
it'd lock that saw up.
Remove the
It was a good saw. And I had that happen to me on one I bought. I bought a stock trailer one time, and there was an XL12 in there that looked like new. And it was locked up. And I found out them screws had backed out. But anyway, so now, I've got that apart.
No, you don't.
This tank should come off.
Okie dokie pokey.
It should.
I can't dokey.
I don't know of anything holding. It's coming off. I know what's holding. I'll show you what's
Grease. Yuck.
Fuel line, kind of.
Ah.
Now, there's why that saw burned up. See all that crud?
Yeah.
That flywheel, the air's supposed to go through behind it and come out in this crack right here. There's a gap. It's supposed to come out that gap right there.
All righty.
Okay. And it's not came out that gap.
Now, see, if you'd lit that a fire, that burned all that away, and then you wouldn't have all that.
And also what happened, these fins and stuff have gotten full of crud. Some of them stopped plumb up. Now, see, I got that cylinder off.
Oh, my gosh. You're strong.
But if you can look, get right and wipe the oil off. I put oil in there.
Yes.
When I first got this.
That needs a SOS pad tucked to it.
That one top ring stuck.
That's
the bottom one will move.
That's
but you can look that sucker. Look how burned up it is.
It looks fine.
I don't know if you can see down in there.
Well, hold still. Hold it still. Yes, looks good.
You know what?
What? It does look good.
Except for right there.
It does look good.
It don't look all that bad. That could be used again.
See, I told you.
But see all the stuff packed up in the fins?
Yes, I see that.
That's what burns that up. Another thing about this saw.
Yes, what's...
Look at that spark plug. Look at the end of it.
Well, let me find it. Hold it. Hold it. Okay, what's wrong with the end of it?
Well, it's made different than any other spark plug.
Well, I can see it ain't
see the spark plug to boot?
It ain't got a doohickey on it.
Yeah.
Why?
Weird. Just oddball. It was one of them deals that these 58 cc, not all in saw, but you just see all that dirt and crud packed up in there. Well, but what my plans to do is I'm going to take this all apart and clean it real good and everything. And I've got another saw in there that for some reason I never could get the manual oil or the oil on it. It's an XL12 automatic oiler, later model saw. And I worked on that manual oiler and I never did get that thing to pumping oil like I wanted. The automatic oiler worked on it. But you can't even see the condenser hardly for the dirt behind there. Nobody's ever blowed that saw out or took it apart and cleaned it.
Yeehaw.
Okay. But I'm going to change that cylinder and piston because I've got a real good one in there on that solid one oil. And I done robbed the carburetor off of it and put it on a different saw.
I don't blame you.
But if you look at the top of this, see how that's castellated? It's different than these others. It's just a hex, you know, hexagon.
So that's star-related then.
But see, that's dirty inside there. I got to clean all that up.
Yep, I see it.
This saw originally, see the fuel line? It comes out down here. This saw originally had a piece of felt in there. And it's been converted over. There's a little, I got to take that out, and there's a little hose and a little screen in there at the bottom. But they had a recall on them to do away with that felt. I've got one in there that's a skill saw, still got the felt in it. But it would have had the felt fuel system. This saw here, it runs and everything. I've changed the fuel line, but I had to put 2 grommets in there, but the fuel line comes in from the top. See? And this is just an XL12. It's an old saw too. It might not be as old as that, and I don't know exact years of them. But and the oil line comes along here. See? It goes all the way.
Yep.
But anyway.
Yep.
That's the way that works. But it don't fill from the top. Now, I bought this saw at auction for $10.
Yeah, I think
it looks good.
I think I remember.
And it runs good. But I went and used it. And the first time I used it, I didn't use it very long at all. Went to boiling the fuel. So what I'm going to have to do to this saw to put it in service is tear it down like I did this one right here and clean it. That's the first thing I'm going to do. There's other things can cause it to boil fuel. You know, a bad duckbill valve in the cap. And, you know, there's a few other things running too lean on the fuel. You know, there's some other things to do it. but it never hurts to take one apart. This in here I bought for $10.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used this a lot. I wore all the paint. It had that much paint on it. But the first thing I did when I got it was I had to put a carburetor kit in it anyway and a fuel line. I tore it all the way down and cleaned it.
Okay.
Cleaned it up real good.
Sounds good.
But see, it's still got, it's later model, it's got that plastic cover.
Uh-huh.
See that plastic cover?
Yep, I see the plastic
Older
cover.
ones
Have a metal.
had a magnesium cover.
Metal.
See?
Uh-huh.
And that's even got the stuff in there that tells you how to start it.
Whoa.
But I could put this magnesium cover on there.
Why?
I might.
Why?
Plastic one's working, you know. Yeah, I'm one of them guys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh,
But you see,
hockey.
look
Don't believe him.
Look at the top of that cover, how it's castellated.
Yeah.
And that's hexagonal.
Castellated. That's a fancy Dan word for me.
But anyway.
I would have just called it starry. Star-shaped.
But that's a 58cc.
Uh-huh.
Non-oiling.
Mm-hmm.
XL12.
Yeah.
It's not a Super XL automatic. That's a Super XL automatic. That's a Super XL automatic.
Uh-huh.
And I've got another Super XL automatic in there that run all right.
Uh-huh.
But I worked on this oiler.
Uh-huh.
And
until the cows came home?
You can't. This oiler, you can't unscrew it like you can the old ones. Old one's got a wrench. You put a wrench on right there.
Okay.
That in there,
uh-huh.
There's no way to get that out of there, you think. But what you got to do is pull this screw.
Fire wrench. That'll get it off.
This screw and this screw out of this handle.
Uh-huh. And
there's a little pin in there.
Uh-huh.
You grab that little pin with a pair of pliers, pull it out, and that whole thing will come out. You put a new O-ring on it.
I like my idea. Fire wrench.
I figured that out.
And?
On my own. But anyway, this is XL12. But my daddy bought one of these brand new, like this 58cc saw.
Yes.
Got that silver button in it, just like this one right here.
Silver button.
He bought it in 1964.
Okie dokie.
And that's the first saw I really ever got to use. Up that time, he had a David Bradley. And one other thing about them. These early saws don't have a 3/8 stud. 3/8 stud takes a 9/16 wrench.
Okie dokie.
This stud takes a 1/2 wrench to nut it up. Wow. See, here's 3/8. This and here's 3/8. I'm going to say this saw is a little newer than that.
Okay, a little newer.
But it's a non-oiler too. It ain't an automatic oiling saw.
Okay.
But see that there?
Whatever
it just
you
falls
say, dear.
over there.
Yes, it's just
well, the only thing about that is it's hard to find a bar
that
don't wobble. Ain't loose for this kind of saw. Well, I got the bar with this saw.
Cut one out of wood.
What?
Cut one out of wood, and then you'll have a wooden bar.
Like a spacer or something. They used to make a little metal spacer. I've seen one time that fit in there, kind of S-shaped deal. But anyway, that's the XL12 video. End. That's what you'll find. And you can't just use a blower, air blower, solvent, clean that. Well, you got to get it out of there.
With a toothbrush?
Oh, you just take anything.
Scraper?
Yeah, scraper. See?
All righty.
You got to get that off there.
Yeah. Why don't you put some oven cleaner on it?
You know what I'm going to do?
Oven cleaner it?
I'm going to spend some money.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to buy a sonic cleaner so I can throw this stuff in a sonic cleaner.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm hoping a sonic cleaner will clean the inside of that tank out. Look how nasty that is.
Wow.
They left old bad gas in it.
You think if I sat in it, it might clean me out real good?
No, they left gas in it.
Me? They left gas in me? Oh, jeepers.
But you look down in there, that's got a bunch of residue and stuff in that air intake.
I gotta find your.
Right there.
Where? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway.
Okay, one of us is.
One other thing about this saw here, I can pull this clutch off, take them screws out, and this side cover will come off. This side right here will come right on off the crankcase.
Hammer will do the same thing.
The later model ones, you got to take these two bolts out, take the crankshaft out to get back there, and there's two screws that hold the inner bearing in, and it won't slide out. No. Well, I've got new crankshaft seals. I put new crankshaft seals on it.
So you really don't need that.
What?
You really don't need that thing right there. So you can break it with a hammer.
I don't break nothing with a hammer.
That's how I would do it. Get it out quicker than you could.
You a sledgehammer mechanic?
Yeah, I'm a sledgehammer.
If you can't get it apart, get a bigger hammer?
That's right.
Well, I've seen a lot of people do that kind of stuff. And I have been guilty of it myself in the past. But anyway, I've got it all tore down. And if you want to see step by step on tore down, there's several people on the internet do that. You can see that.
Yes. Okay.
I ain't real fast at it.
No, you aren't.
But if I had to, I could use that cylinder.
Okay.
But I've got a better one.
But you don't have to.
But I want to run that one of them saws. The last thing I can tell about if you're looking for one of them, that silver button right there, and on the handles of them,
on the handles,
they had a green plastic coating. You can barely see any of it left on here.
Can see it
but that would have been on the whole handle of it. That green plastic.
Well, I can get you some spray paint.
Yeah.
And spray paint green for you if you want.
I ain't wanting to restore this saw. I'm just wanting to get it run
good. I never said
it run good, and I want to use it as much as I've been using that right there. Okay, one other little thing. I've started on a project the other day. A lot of y'all looked at. I pulled the intake manifold off of that truck right there.
Okay, that truck right there.
Yeah. Wait. Don't run off.
I'm not running off. I'm in the sunshine. Woo-hoo-hoo.
What I've dug out of my stash is a 327 intake.
Sorry, I was cold. I shivered.
327 intake for a quarter jet.
327 intake.
And the nice thing about this sucker is it's got that hole right there. I can put oil filler in it.
Well, I'm trying to find your
I've always had trouble pouring oil in on the valve cover of that.
There, it's got to be in there somewhere. Okay.
Right there. There's a hole. That thing weighs about 20 pounds. Right there. There's a tube fits in there.
Hole. Okay.
That's an early 327. I think it's a 68.
Okay. Okay.
E something 8. 68. I know it was off 68 truck we had.
Aww.
But it's got a different type of intake gaskets.
I see it.
Than them ones that came off that old truck over there.
Yes, I see.
Anyway, I like this kind of gasket better.
Okay.
But see, them others was metal.
Yes, the others.
And this in here. I'm going to use that kind of gasket. I'll put it back together. But I looked up the casting numbers on the heads on that truck. And that's a 305 head, 86. It's a 58 cc head. And they use them thin head gaskets. I'm going to pull them heads off and put thicker gaskets on it. I'm going to put, I don't know, I think a gasket's about 35 or 40 thousandths thick, a composition gasket. I'm going to change the head gaskets.
Change them to what?
I'm going to put this on there and put a 4-barrel on it. And do away with that 2-barrel with only 2 bolts. But I'm going to see if that fixes that engine. I think it will. But it's got a vacuum leak somewhere. And I want to pull them heads anyway because I've drove it quite a bit with that vacuum leak. And it kept getting worse and worse. And I think I may have burned the valve on that thing. When you got a vacuum leak, you kind of run lean a little bit, and that's real easy to burn the exhaust valve. It may have some burnt valves in it right now.
Oh, dear.
But I put them same heads back on, them 58 cc heads. But that putting a thicker gasket on there, that'll lower the compression down a little bit. I don't really need the horsepower. You know, 305's got enough horsepower to suit me. I've used them before, and they don't use much gas at 350. So that's why I had a good 350 I could have put in that truck, but it had 350 and it used too much gas. And this old man don't like spending money on gas unless you don't mind having something use a lot of gas. I'm drag racing it, but other than that, I just soon didn't use a lot of gas.
Okay.
But anyway, that's the how far I've got on that old truck. I might get out there and pull them heads off this afternoon. The sun's shining. If it's there's a little bit of wind blowing.
Yeah, that wind is chilly.
But
got Grandma chilly.
That's a weird saw, but it's kind of funny. This guy come down here needing some wheels, 1-ton truck. I traded him some wheels for, I think, 5 chainsaws and 2 boat motors. And that was election day. She was working up the poles that day. Come home, I had some more chainsaws and boat motors in my collection. But maybe spring will get here.
Oh God, I hope so.
But
I'm tired.
Anyway,
tired.
Goodbye and good luck, y'all.
Wait till I turn around. Okay.
What?
Say it again.
Goodbye and good luck, y'all.
Yes, thank y'all, and please like and subscribe. Bye.